Hello and welcome to the British Explorer. Today you'll be getting a bigger insight to this foreboding forest called Tilgate Forest. This forest is meant to have had quite a few sightings of a great big black mysterious cat. Not only have sightings been reported, these tracks used to be coffin roads, and what a coffin road means is that coffins used to be dragged up and down this hill. So it's going up the way, up that way, so that way goes in towards the redwood forest. Down that way is going downhill. So essentially this forest is humongous. Now apparently they have said in traditional folklore that this forest has a black phantom hound with big red glowing eyes, and if you see it, apparently it's an omen for death. So that's the problem, you see. You read all these folktale stories and you hear about all these different folktale legends, and part of you is like, I don't particularly want to go down here on my own. Well, today I am on my own, and the problem is that my wife said, oh, you know, watch out for the black market. I said, what are you talking about, black market? And she said organ harvesting. I'm thinking, what? But anyways, she's more concerned for my safety and well-being down here, and she's worried about me getting snatched and harvested for organs. And I told my uncle, I said, this is what my wife has said. And he said, well, don't go and get yourself organ harvesting. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I find it really hard to believe that down in this forest dead bodies have been actually recovered and found. Unfortunately, a dead soldier in his late 20s was found hanged through suicide. A young mother of 52 has been found hanged, dead in this forest. And not only that, another bloke who has gone missing for about a year has also been found dead, but body parts all over different places of this forest. I mean, look at this trail, for example. If you walk down there, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So I've decided to stay on the main track, on the main path, and then I'm going to divert onto a smaller main path, and I'm going to turn right, and essentially, let's just put it this way, I'm going to have a picnic here. So anyway, sorry about that, my arm and my shoulders getting tired, but I've been meaning to come down here for such a long time. I mean, I've even been thinking about getting myself a little four-legged friend like Grizzly Gaz has. He's a real inspiration, he is. He's a fellow YouTuber who I've been following for a long time, and he does wild camps and hiking and that. And here's my old trusty push bike. Here's my companion for the day, my lovely 24 gear Saracen. So one man and his trusty push bike. But anyways, let's continue. So this place is well known for death. This place is well known for coffin roads. This place is well known for folklore. as well. So remember, keep your eyes open for a great big black dog with red eyes. It's about the size of a car. If you see it, apparently you're in trouble. But I haven't seen no big black dog, and I have not seen a big black cat. So anyways, back to the chase. So I'm really into my cryptids. I believe in Dogman, I believe in werewolves, I believe in the Yeti and Bigfoot, but I love Bigfoot. I'm not afraid of Bigfoot, I love Bigfoot. But Dogman, on the other hand, sheesh, that is one scary animal. Talking about Dogman is supposed to, not specifically this area, but there have been stories and folklore stories. Oh, there's a beautiful little stream down there, look. Beautiful stream. But anyways, going on about Dogman, apparently, not in this specific area, but in another area, in Hull, there's a werewolf or Dogman called Old Stinker. And the reason why it's called Old Stinker is because he was found eating an Alsatian dog. Grizzly, I know, but that's how the story goes, and he's a protector of an old barn drain, apparently. Right, this is where we come off the main path as well. We go onto the right hand side path here, we walk off deeper into the forest. So that is where we've just come from, over there. And I will see ya when I get to camp. But down that path there, I've seen deer down there. So I'll see you soon. Right, I found my camp, or should I say my picnic area, but this ground is so soft. Can you hear that? It's very I don't think this is a good area to sit down and eat and drink. Foolish boot. Never mind, we'll get out of this area and we'll find somewhere else. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find somewhere soon. But you can see the size of this place. Look at the size of it. Absolutely huge. Hello everyone, I'm back. I found, it's like literally like 10 seconds off the actual main path, but I've actually found myself somewhere to actually sit down and enjoy and eat. So I found myself a place. Just need to get my blanket out. Like I was saying previously, my wife was so concerned about sorry, I know you don't want to see my big fat ass. Anyways, my wife was concerned in regards to me being body snatched and my organs being harvested. I told her not to be so silly. So that's it. I'm more concerned about werewolf or Dogman or something. I know there's no such thing, but you know, these things do play in your mind, and it's only during the day. It's not like it's during the night, because at the end of the day, I'm out here trying to get used to being out in nature, like Grizzly Gaz. And why do I keep mentioning Grizzly Gaz? Because he's truly and wonderfully inspired me to actually do this. Water plus electrolyte citrus boost. 7 daily vitamins and minerals, enhances hydration and 0 sugar. And the difference between me and Matey is that he's got a 4-legged friend and I've got a mechanical friend there by the tree. But we'll just have to compromise. Anyways, like I said, there's a lot of folklore stories in regards to this predator called, this predator called Dogman in the UK. I think Dogman originated. I know werewolf and Dogman are two different entities apparently, but all I can tell you is if they do exist, then we're in a world of trouble. But the way I see it is that the paranormal cryptids, so they're not flesh and blood, they're actually the demonic entities, and apparently you only see them. Please correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, but you only see them in an area if an area has burial grounds, like burial mounds, like ancient Indian burial grounds. And I looked up on Google for ancient burial grounds and couldn't find any in this place. But there's one thing I did find, was that apparently this place did have coffin roads. So apparently this place has had coffin roads. Anyways, enough of my waffling about coffins and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, in this forest, people have been found dead. And I told my mum, big shout out to my mum, hi mum, that I'm going to come down here, and she's like, just be careful, please be careful, are you sure it's safe? And even my wife was like, are you sure it's safe? I said, well, I'm a big guy, I can look after myself. But I do appreciate their candour and their worries. I feel the food, I think it's time to go. So I have decided to actually come down here a couple of miles from where I live in the bush bike, actually have a picnic and a drink, and all is well. I actually took my wife here once, not this specific part, but further up the hill, and we had a picnic up there, and yeah, we had a lovely time. Now, I don't think I'm going to wild camp up here. There is nowhere isolated enough up here in this forest to wild camp. And what I mean is a place that's got sturdy ground, because what I showed you earlier with the ground is very soft, it's like you can fall through it. And I'm not going to wild camp up there. But you do find deer up here. That's one thing you do find, deer. Because I've seen 3 deer up there before. Beautiful, beautiful creatures. I'm surprised I haven't been swarmed by flies. But if you do decide to go wild camping, get the owner's permission. And if you don't get it and you still want to go, then just be very careful. Find somewhere discreet, leave no trace. Go in there late evening when it's starting to get dark, set up, do your camp, leave early in the morning, just before sunrise or just after sunrise, and make sure it's discreet. So, actually, this is very peaceful. It's very, very peaceful in here, and I like it. Oh, but yeah, talking about this forest in general, it's got a huge history. It's got a huge history to it, and this forest is well known to the public. So even if I wanted to camp up here, it would be wise. But yeah, I'm just going to spend some time with God, just me and him now. So I'll get back to you a bit later when I've eaten. But always do your research on places you visit, and be done with it. So I'll check in with you a bit later. Hello, I'm back. So I have now finished my lunch out here in the sticks, and going back to the history of Tilgate Forest. This forest is so foreboding because of it. Now, unless you look up the history of the place, you won't know anything about the place really. People may just say, oh yeah, I went down to Tilgate Forest the other day, it was a beautiful walk. But you won't ever hear, oh, you know, did you know that someone was found hanged in here? Did you know that quite a few bodies have been found in this specific woodland? And here I am sitting here about to have a nice black spice cracker rum. Well, I'm in a situation where I started a bakery. Now, this is a British Explorer channel when we're out here in nature, enjoying nature and learning about different places. So, you know, I'm going to speak about my personal life in a way. I'm not going to be too open about it, but I was running a bakery for some time, and because I live in a place where there's so many bakeries going around, like Asda's has their own bakery, Sainsbury's has its own bakery, Marks and Spencer's, you know, and then you've got Greg's, and it's just, I was battling against all the big boys. And not only that, I established in November 2025 and I was a sole trader, and I got 100% positive reviews, 5-star out of 5. Even got a 5-star food hygiene rating for the place. And I worked so hard on it, and yet I was sunk. And I had people ordering like just like a batch of scones from me, which was like £4. And I was shelling myself out too low and too short. And I thought, right, I'm going to up the prices, and people are still paying the prices, but I put a minimum delivery spend. So if, you know, for example, I won't do an order unless you spend like a minimum of, I don't know, £10 or £12 or something. And I wasn't getting any orders after that, and I had like one order. Oh, can I have one pasty, please? Yeah, but I need to order something else. But I was charging what, £4 for a pasty, and it cost me about £5-6 to make it. So I had to buy the pastry, ready rolled up pastry. I had to buy all the ingredients: onions, butter, potato, herbs, you know, and then there's the cost of the oven and egg and just to glaze it. And I wasn't making any money from just getting one order for a pastry, and I said, sorry, can't do it. So eventually I just lost custom. So now I'm on a mobile bike mechanic business. Started the day before yesterday, and I've already had one customer, my best mate Anna. So hi Anna, big shout out to you, my big sister. But yeah, so she gave me a tip, which was lovely. I didn't even want to charge her because she's like a real sister to me, and I absolutely love Anna. I think she's amazing. And she's always been one of my biggest supporters. But anyways, I didn't want to charge her. But anyways, she said, no, charge me, you know, do it the right way. So I charged her and gave her a 10% discount, and she still gave me a tip on top. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to actually have such an amazing friend. And yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping and praying that I become successful in this trade. And I found out just recently that there's only one other mobile mechanic in the area, but he knows literally everything. You know, he takes apart everything, and I shouldn't even be contradicting myself really. I shouldn't really be saying, oh well, you know, I've got a competitor that's slightly better than me, if not better than me. Full stop. But my motto is, if you're going to have a push bike, then learn to repair it. I know that goes against the whole trading thing for me, but the way I've seen it is that if you've got a push bike, you need to learn to repair it and actually sort it out yourself. Otherwise you're just going to end up, it's like a car. Your car eventually breaks down, you have to start paying out to get it repaired. And it's the same thing with a push bike. If you need your brakes adjusted, or you need your brake pads replaced or whatnot, you're going to have to pay out for the parts, and you're going to have to pay someone to fit them. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to learn how to do everything, really. But the majority of stuff I'll learn to do, like brakes and everything else, gears. And I thought, well, I'm quite proficient at it now, so I'm going to start off my own mobile bike mechanic stuff. And I had one person rip me today, said, oh, £10 for you know, an adjustment for this and that, you know, oh, you only need this. And I'm thinking, you're just running me down, mate. It's not nice. Anyways, I don't want to bring negativity into my videos, but I just wanted to give you a little insight to what I'm doing in my personal life. And yeah, I just feel so at peace being here in this woodland. It's not even a woodland, it's a forest. It's a big difference. Woodland is more than a forest. This is an actual forest. But yeah, anyways, I have been really considering wild camping, because Grizzly Gaz has just so inspired me to just get out of the flat. Because before I used to just sit there in between four walls and actually just waste my life away. And today I'm actually here enjoying nature. You know, sometimes you just need to get out the flat, you know. And I'm dealing with a very antisocial neighbour. I'm not really going to get into it, but I've kept in the four walls because of that. And prior to that, my best mate, he had manic bipolar, and just one thing led to another, and you know, I lost my best mate, Alistair John Mackay, in January 2025. So I have been through the wars. So I've decided to come out today and actually enjoy nature and enjoy the breeze, and just find somewhere nice to sit and just enjoy and eat and drink and just enjoy the breeze, you know. But yeah, I think my wife's got a point. Maybe I should be more careful. But when you go somewhere, always let someone know where you're going. So just in case you run into trouble and you go missing or something happens and no one can get hold of you, then they'll know where you are. They'll have a rough estimate of knowing where you are. So yeah, always make sure you let someone know where you are and where you're going, just in case something bad does happen. It's rare, but it happens. But the thing I've noticed is that people let their imaginations run away with them. With me, when I was walking up this trail off the main path, I was starting to think Dogman, you know, because, you know, I'm really into my cryptids, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm a bit screwed if there's a Dogman in here, because I won't be able to do anything. So I just said, you know, because I go to church and stuff, that might cost me some subscribers, but when I go to church and stuff, you know, I pray and I believe in Jesus, and he's my Lord and Saviour and my King and that. But anyways, I'm not here to bash you over the head with my beliefs, but I just said, if there's any dogman in these woods, or werewolves, or black dogs with red glowing eyes, and I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. And I just feel more at peace now after actually saying that. I feel more at peace than ever, because before I sat down and had my lunch, I thought, but I feel okay, mate. I feel fine now. I feel good. But yeah, if you do decide to go hiking, especially in a place you don't know well, then always be cautious. Take a first aid kit, and if you are going wild camping, like I said, make sure that you're off the beaten path, you know, and get the landowner's permission. And if you're still adamant of going wild camping, then do it discreetly. Don't leave no trace, because if you leave a trace, people will know, oh, someone's been here, and then you go there later on in the year or whatnot, and you find out, oh, there's someone patrolling the area. So leave no trace. So I'm going to say tatty bye now. I am going to go home. It's been a good time out, and I will see you in the next video. However, I will not be wild camping in this forest, because there's nowhere suitable to wild camp, unfortunately, not in this forest. It's too, what's the right word, it's too, you know, not enough isolation for a start, and I'm still quite near civilization. I'm only like half a mile away, maybe a mile from civilization, so you know, anyone could walk past. So if you're going to go wild camping, make sure that you actually, you know, get the landowner's permission, and if you're still going to go without the landowner's permission, make sure you do it discreetly, do your research, do your history, and play it safe, and take it easy, because the thing is, if you get caught and they spot you and they ask you to move on, you have to move on, because if you refuse to move on, that's when the police are called and such, and it just gets all messy. And but yeah, unfortunately, wild camping in England, apart from very few specific places, is illegal apparently. But anyway, doesn't stop people from doing it, and I'm not gonna say to my fellow YouTubers, don't go and wild camp, because, you know, it's not up to me, it's up to them. They got their own lives. But I just want to give a massive shout out to Grizzly Gaz for inspiring me to come out and just to get out in nature and go somewhere and enjoy it and eat and drink and just do some videoing of nature. I think it's just a wonderful thing that you've encouraged me to do. I mean, previously I wouldn't have even dreamed about doing this, and you know, you have truly inspired me, Gaz. So if you ever see this video, mate, big up to you, man. You're a real inspiration, But anyways, I just want to say quite a few shout outs. One to Katrina, my mum. Big shout out to you, mum. Big shout out to my dad, Scotty. Massive shout out to my bestie, Anna. A massive shout out to Mark, who's another good friend of mine. And a phenomenal, massive, big shout out to my wife, Rachel. And a big shout out to all my subscribers. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you liked it, then give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, and just let me know in the comment section below what you disliked about the video, so that way I know for the next video. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.